Call your next witness.
The people call Kevin Awbrey to the stand.
Kevin Awbrey. Please proceed to the witness stand. Raise your right hand. You solemnly affirm that testimony you're about to give faithfully and truthfully according to the facts and rules of the mock trial competition.
I do.
Please be seated. Please use your first and last name, spell your last for the record.
Cameron Awbrey, A-W-B-R-E-Y.
Thank you.
Before I begin, Your Honor, may I inquire as to the time remaining again?
Defense has 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining for direct examination.
May I proceed?
Yes, you may.
Good afternoon, Ms. Awbrey.
Good afternoon.
What was your most recent occupation?
I was the owner of the restaurant Taste of Tantera.
And why did you choose Tantera?
Well, my cousin Devin and I, we spent several summers in Tantera doing humanitarian relief work as teenagers, and as a result, I feel a deep
Objection,
connection.
Your Honor. Improper character evidence.
How so?
Your Honor, good character evidence must be in the form of an opinion or a reputation. I'm assuming that defense counsel would like to admit this as good character evidence.
You are incorrect in that assumption. It
Oh,
was
okay.
not character evidence.
Withdrawn then, Your Honor.
Well, all right.
I'll change my objection to relevance then.
Is it first you don't succeed? Really object.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you done with your answer?
No, I was just saying that as a result of my time there, I feel a deep connection to the Tanteran culture and people.
So, have you ever operated a restaurant before?
No, I'm new to this.
So, you must have had help, right?
Yes, my cousin Devin helped me, as well as Julian Blake as a restaurant consultant and with my finances.
You said Mr. Blake helped you with your finances. How did you manage to afford to pay for a restaurant in the first place?
Well, my aunt, she died a few months ago, and she left me an inheritance of $100,000, which I invested completely into the restaurant. I also took out several large loans and mortgaged my house.
You also said that your cousin Devin Tyler helped. How did he help?
Well, Devin helped me handle employment paperwork and also suggested I put ads in the newspaper circulating Little Tantera for a chef.
Did you do that?
I did. We received several applicants.
And out of those applicants, who did you hire?
I chose to hire Lynn Stark.
And to your knowledge, was Ms. Stark aware of your financial state?
Yes, we discussed it.
And was Ms. Stark a good employee?
She was a good cook, but unfortunately she wasn't a very good employee.
What do you mean by that?
Well, even though she never took any breaks, which I thought was very odd, she worked extremely slowly, especially during the lunch rush. She also complained often as well.
You said she never took a break. Was that on your orders?
No, I admired Lynn's work ethic, but I would never tell her not to take any breaks. Lynn had a very tough job, and doing so would have just been cruel.
And you also said she complained. What about?
Her pay mostly, and also,
Excuse me, Your Honor. I think they're trying to tell you something.
What does this have to do with the
Yes, we have 10 minutes left. Can we
There's 10 minutes left on the video, apparently.
can we go off the record for 2 minutes?
He's asking for 2.
No, I'm not a videographer, I'm not a movie producer. Don't take this time away from the witness. Continue with your examination.
Were you finished with your answer?
no, I was not. Could you please ask me a question?
Yes, you said that Ms. Stark complained. How did you complain?
Well, it was about her pay mostly, and also the leaky faucet in her bathroom. I couldn't do anything about her pay, but I did check on the faucet to see if I could do anything about it.
And when did you check on her faucet?
On March 9th, I went into her apartment to see what I could do about it.
And are you aware that Ms. Stark kept a key in her apartment?
Yes, it was the key that I gave her for safety purposes.
Did you take that key while you were in her apartment?
No, I only went to check on her faucet. I don't even know where she kept the key. I wouldn't need it. I had my own.
And you heard Ms. Stark testify today, right?
I did, yes.
And you heard her testify that you restricted her access to her legal documents, yes?
I heard that, yes.
Did you do that?
No, if Lynn had asked me for any of her
Objection, Your Honor.
documents-
Per Rule 3.4D, unless otherwise stated, attorneys may not solicit information from a witness that requires the witness to testify to information from another witness's statement or information not included in their own statement. Therefore, it is improper for counsel to answer this question and this witness to answer the question.
Question was whether she had denied access to the immigration documents.
Before that, Your Honor, the counsel asked Ms. Awbrey if she had listened to Ms. Stark testify, if she was restricting her access. Is that correct?
Yes, but forgive me, I'm not sure how that's excluded by that rule.
You're asking information from this witness that another witness testified to. Therefore,
Perfectly lawful.
Well, what does the rule say?
in the real world. However, this is mock trial, and per Rule 3.4D, unless otherwise stated, attorneys may not solicit information from a witness that. And 3.4B is even more specific, Your Honor, as witnesses may not testify or respond to another witness's testimony unless otherwise stated in the stipulation. There is lack of any information in the stipulations that this witness can respond to Ms. Stark's testimony.
That's how the rule applies, does it not?
I'll rephrase, Your Honor.
All right, well, I think there was an answer to the question that the objection was made to, so I'll strike the answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Awbrey, did you restrict Ms. Stark's access to her legal documents?
No, if Lynn had asked for documents, I would have returned them immediately.
And did you ever threaten to have Lynn fired or deported in any way?
No, I would never do something like that. I know how important this job was to her and her family.
And did you ever ask Ms. Stark if anyone would miss her if she was gone?
No, and frankly, that would be a very inappropriate question to ask her in a job interview.
And it is my understanding that Lynn Stark was a salaried employee. Is that true?
Yes, she was.
Can you please explain what that means?
Yes, since Lynn was given a salary, she was given a set amount per
30
month,
seconds.
which we agreed to before I hired her. Therefore, minimum wage simply wouldn't apply.
Thank you, Ms. Awbrey. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I inquire?
Yes.
Now, good evening, Ms. Awbrey.
Good afternoon, Mr. Babula, is it?
Yes. Now, Ms. Awbrey, you hired Mr. Blake for his restaurant expertise, true?
As Devin suggested, yes.
And, however, you rejected Mr. Blake's involvement in the employment process, correct?
I wanted him to focus on the restaurant.
Oh, allow me to direct you back to my question. I called for a yes or no answer. You rejected Mr. Blake's involvement in the employment process, true?
That would be true, I suppose.
So, this made you the only one in charge of interviewing and hiring employees for the chef position, true?
That is true.
Now, you eventually hired Ms. Stark, correct?
I did, yes, I wanted to help her in any way I could.
Right. Now, upon hiring Ms. Stark, you had her immigration documents, true?
Well, yes, I needed those for the paperwork.
Thank you. Now, you were given these immigration documents, and for the entire 4+ months of her involvement, or of her employment at Santerre, you made no significant forward progress in sponsoring her visa, true?
Well, I made some progress, but unfortunately, I was not able to complete it.
Objection, Your Honor, unfair extrapolation. Directing court and counsel's attention to page 39, line 37. Excuse me, line 36 and 35. I told Officer West that I was holding onto the papers because I was in the process of finding out how to sponsor Lynn for Lynn's visa. Therefore, this witness has made no significant progress in sponsoring Ms. Stark's visa.
I'll hear from counsel.
Your Honor, it says, from the lines that counsel read from, that she was in the process of finding out how to sponsor it. I assume that she found out and made progress.
Your Honor, we're not supposed to assume from the fact situation, being that the fact situation says that upon Ms. Stark's arrest, she told Officer West that she was still in the process of finding out how to sponsor this visa, would reflect that she made no progress and hadn't even found out how to sponsor this visa.
May we hear, Your Honor?
Yeah, one more time.
Simply because she was still in the process of finding out doesn't mean she hadn't already found out other ways of doing it.
I think it was a close question. I'll overrule the objection.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, Lynn Starkey complained about her hours, true?
She did, yes.
Now, Lynn worked very long hours, isn't that right?
Yes.
In fact, as you sit here today, you can't even tell me how many hours Lynn worked, correct?
Well, we didn't have timesheets, so no.
And you also claim Ms. Stark was a salaried employee, true?
She was.
However, she had no set salary, isn't that right?
Well, not exactly. I told.
So that's a no.
That is a no, I suppose.
Yet, in fact, her salary decreased from November to December by $100, true?
It was all I could afford at the time, so yes.
So that's a yes.
That's a yes.
And it stayed that amount from December all the way to March, true?
It was all I could afford during that time, so yes.
Now, A Taste of Tantara was open 6 days a week, correct?
It was, yes.
And Ms. Stark worked all 6 of those days as the only chef, true?
Yes.
She even came in on her days off to work additional hours, isn't that right?
She did.
Now, Ms. Awbrey, do you recall interacting with Officer West on the evening of March 7th?
Yes, I do.
And you told Officer West, everything under that roof is mine, correct?
Unfortunately, I did.
Now, this was directly after Officer West had told you, I still think you're abusive to your cook, true?
Yes, I did have.
Now, to be clear, Ms. Awbrey, Ms. Stark is that cook, correct?
She's the only cook I can afford to pay at the moment.
Thank you. Now, on March 10th, you observed Lynn conversing with a customer, true?
Yes, with Officer West, I believe.
Objection, Your Honor, unfair extrapolation.
Excuse me, I believe I misspoke then. I did see her interacting with the customer.
Okay. Now, Ms. Awbrey, you rushed over instructing Lynn to get back to the kitchen, true?
It was during the lunch rush, so yes.
And this customer was Officer West, correct?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, this requires an unfair extrapolation. I could let opposing counsel argue this for me.
Counsel, you wish to be heard?
This witness is able to answer in any way she likes.
I'll stand the objection. New question.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, directing your attention to March 9th. An argument ensued after you rejected Ms. Stark's vacation request, true?
Her vacation request, yes, she didn't give me any particular reason.
Now, at that time, Ms. Stark had been working every day for the past 4 months, true?
Yes, I suppose.
Now-
As well as I did as well.
That argument ended with you slamming the double-cylinder deadbolt door behind her. Isn't that right?
Yes, and yes, I was very angry and exhausted.
Right, and you claim it was frustration that made you slam that door, true?
It was
Objection, Your Honor,
frustrating.
this is an argumentative question.
It's cross-examination. I'll overrule.
And you claim that this frustration was caused by the events of the recent days, correct?
Yes.
Now, this would include your interaction with Officer West only 2 days prior, true?
Yes, I was upset that I've been arrested for no reason.
Now, Miss Awbrey, it was this same frustration that caused you to steal Miss Stark's key only earlier that day.
Objection, Your Honor, this is an argumentative question. And it also requires an unfair extrapolation.
That's an argumentative question.
May I rephrase, Your Honor?
You may rephrase.
Now, Miss Stark, your frustration caused you to steal Miss Stark's key
Objection.
earlier that day.
I'll also stand the objection.
Yes, Your Honor. Moving on. Now, that same day, excuse me. Now, the next day, you had to open the door for Miss Stark, true?
Yes, I did after I heard her banging. I went immediately.
Right. And you even asked her if she was missing her key, correct?
Yes, I was confused as to why she didn't open the door herself.
Back to March 9th, Miss Awbrey. You claim that you were checking a leaky faucet, correct?
I was checking her leaky faucet.
However, Miss Stark had made this claim only 3 months earlier about this leaky faucet, true?
She had, unfortunately, that was the only time I had to check on it.
So in these 3+ months, you did not fix the issue, true?
I didn't have any time.
You had not even checked the issue, true?
I did not have any time.
And you showed Miss Stark, excuse me, where her key was when she first moved in, true?
30 seconds? Yes, I wanted her to be aware for safety purposes. I would not want any
And
accident to happen.
thank you. Now, other than this day, This was the only day you recall going into Ms. Stark's room, true?
Objection, Your Honor, the question was vague and ambiguous as to this day.
I think March 9, was it?
I was referring to the day she showed Ms. Stark's key to her.
May I hear, Your Honor?
Yes.
That proves my point, if yes.
Well, rephrase the question, I'll sustain the objection.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, other than that day, when Lynn first moved in, you showed her her key. March 9th was the only day you recall entering her apartment, true?
Well, I had no other use, so I can check the faucet.
Right, thank you. Now, for clarity's sake, Miss Awbrey, other than Lynn Stark, you had the only other key to the double-cylinder deadbolt door leading to her apartment.
Stop.
You don't get that answer. Any redirect?
No to redirect, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Awbrey. I respect that.
Thank you, Your Honor.